Hey there, everyone. This is Andrew and Nick back with another reaction. As we work through this new Fear Inoculum album, I thought no better time than to go back and visit the very, very beginning works from Tool. So we are going to start looking at Opiate. This first track, Nick, is Sweat. It is the first track off the Opiate album. I just said that twice. You're welcome. These tracks are pretty short. The album comprises, I think, 6 songs. Half of them are live performances. Not a lot of studio work here, so raw would be an apt term to describe it. As I usually ask now, I want you to just tell me what you think this song might be about, what the album might be about, Opiate, and what the song might be about, Sweat, based on just titles.
Well, I mean, it recalls the old saying of Lenin that religion is the opiate of the masses, and you want to keep them going, keep them working, keep them producing, and the more they work, the more they sweat. I don't know, just my psychological associations.
That works really well.
Who knows?
Yeah, no, that works really well. Also keep in mind, because we are back at the very beginning, we're going to get, again, kind of like we had with Undertow, those visceral sexual references. But it does not necessarily mean that surface layer message is the message that's coming through here. This is, a great way for you to see why people fell in love with this band.
Sure.
They're just enigmatic in the way that they attack the stage. So I don't want to talk too much more either. I want you to be able to enjoy these tracks as much as I know our longtime OGT fans out there have probably been waiting for this album more importantly than most of the rest. So,
well, the only other thing that I would I'll throw out there before is at the end of our last video, we had a little talk about the number 7 and how it's the number of perfection.
Yeah.
And here we've got an album that has only 6 tracks. So it's not quite perfect yet.
Maybe there's a hidden track that we don't know about yet.
All right, enough with our armchair speculation. We'll go ahead and let's give this a listen. Here we go. Sweat.
Let's do it. Not sharing music.
Really?
Yep. Oh, I was wrong. Oh, we have Paul Diamore on the bass again. Original bassist.
That's right. Okay.
Sweating and bleeding and staring and thinking, sinking deeper in the tunnel. Right, I'm swimming. The sun is burning out again on the hunter and the fisherman. I'm trying to remember when, but it makes me dizzy. Seems like I've been here before. Seems so familiar. Seems like I'm slipping into a dream within a dream. It's no way, yeah.
Can't hear you. You got your mic muted. You got your mic muted. There
Wow,
you go.
it's great that wow, hold on a second. Wow, it's great that we're doing these tracks that we're doing Fear Inoculum and then doing a little bit of Opiate, that we're kind of doing them you know in
You
conjunction.
can see both ends.
Yeah, because you can see they come out and they're hitting you hard. They want here we are, wow, and
They have to prove their point so that they can continue to do this. Yeah.
And they can't have the song be too long, and they have to right. And so but they're hitting you with such instrumental intensity at the same time. And at the same time, still the lyrics are very powerful. I mean, it's not messageless. It's not without point, right? It's not an attempt just to get attention and to become famous. They've got something to say from point one. And then when we get into the Fear Inoculum stuff, we say, here we have established artists doing everything they ever always wanted to do, and doing it exceptionally well.
Right. Which 30 years of experience in producing this type of messaging, this type of music, should lead to, quite frankly, greatness or vast improvement beyond where you were. But yeah, you could definitely see, even in a raw state, that these guys definitely had a message. They had something to say. Maybe they didn't know exactly what it was that they wanted to say quite yet, but they knew they needed to get out there and speak to the masses. And you brought up Opiate for the Masses, and it's such an apt title, because I think you're really hitting the nail on the head more than anything with that correlation. They're not saying, hey, let's go take opium. They are, this album really is a call out to morality, religion, Western religion, from what we've learned so far with the other albums.
Everything that you're using to kill the pain, because we all use something. We all want to dull it down. We want to not feel so bad, because in this existence there is so much to feel bad about. And so, for me, the biggest lyrical point here is this slipping into a dream within a dream, right? That
Poe reference.
And it's how many decades before the movie Inception, right? This whole idea of the dream within the dream within the dream.
Yeah,
right?
so I think maybe 15 years, I think, before Inception came out, that line would have been uttered on this album.
Right. So, and it's just this idea that, this existence itself is it's exactly that, this dream within a dream. I mean, I remember thinking to myself I remember realizing one time that I am the lie that I tell myself, right? And this I is what separates me from the greater existence. And if throughout my life I've had all these dreams, and there are, who knows, countless dreams that I've dreamt in my life, but there's maybe 3 or 4 that were memorable enough that had an impact on my conscious psyche that I actively remember them, right? That they become part of my person, right? That I hope that this ego, Nico, that if I can live it to its fullest extent, that it can have that same kind of impact on the universal reality that my dreams, those 3 or 4 dreams, might have had on my conscious existence, right? And so
Interesting.
I think that's what waking up is about leaving the painkillers aside and trying to have a meaningful life, not just meaningful for myself, but meaningful for the greater I.
The world
is all of
the
us,
world around
right?
you.
Yeah.
And the only thing that I would say about sweat is, quite simply, to me, it's when you work at something, when you work to grow or to learn, you generate sweat. And so the whole You know, it seems like he's referencing the people at the bottom of the social spectrum, the hunter and the fisherman. He's talking about uh, beginning times before society takes over, and these are the people that sweat. These are the people that work to grow, and it seems familiar, you know. But was it all just a dream? That's kind of the way the lyrics bounce around in my head to give me this idea of maybe he's just trying to tap into those primordial messages that allow us humans to grow. Because again, I think Tool's message has always been about let's shed out that ego, let's cast away our doubts, let's take what's coming to us and learn from it so we can grow.
You know, and it's precisely in this age, so very few of us are actually used to real labor, really working hard. I mean, last week,
Getting that sweat, yeah.
last Thursday, I slaughtered 3 chickens, 3 big chickens, and man, it's hard work. I mean, you've got a 5-pound bird that you have to pull all of those feathers out of. I mean, people didn't
Labor
eat as
intensive.
people didn't eat as much meat before because it was a lot of work to make that much meat, right? I mean, my back aches, you know, everything. I was knocked out. I was so tired for at least 2 days from just basically 2 or 3 hours of work. It was about 4 hours of working on 3 chickens, right? So point is, yeah, working hard at the bottom of the economy. I mean, we all feel that. We've all had that maybe in our young lives where we had some sort of summer job or we were doing some yard work for some extra bucks. But you know, it's what existence was, and it feels like I've been here before, doesn't it?
Exactly. You almost can feel your ancestors laboring as well. And then, you know, you got to wipe the sweat off your brow, take a nice cool shower, turn on the cable TV and zone out, because that's existence now.
Fall asleep on the sofa bed. That's right.
Slip into just a dream. Not even one that you have a dream about. You're just REM sleeping at that point.
Yeah, have a little bit of your opiate, whichever your favorite one is.
Personally, I prefer opiatos. A bowl every morning.
I'm okay with scotch. It's fine.
Well, with that, guys, you know, I hope you're ready and I hope you're strapped in. This was Sweat off the Opiate album. Next week, you're going to be able to hear Numa, track 2 off the Fear Inoculum album, and we will continue to proceed going back and forth with the newest and the oldest, and we'll sprinkle in some other work there as well. Thanks so much. Like, subscribe to us if you haven't already. Check out our other works. Please, please, please go back and listen to as much Tool as you possibly can handle. Tell all your friends. Thanks so much for joining us.
Peace and love. See you next time.